Hello everybody, welcome to a vlog. It has been a little while since I uploaded a vlog last, so I just thought to put the camera on before. As you can see, I'm wearing my New England shirt that I picked up the other week. Far cheaper than the 2026 one. Uh, a lot cheaper. Um, that's no. It is an official shirt. It's one of their. It's a retro one from a few years ago. So they've re-released like older shirts from like years ago. So there's some like from the 90s, and this one I believe is from 2023, I think, which was the Euros, the last Euro tournament. But anyway, how's it going, everybody? I am just chilling out, getting ready for England to kick off this evening. I've had a chilled out weekend so far. I've done absolutely nothing at all, really. Yesterday I did nothing. I just had a chilled out. I've been rewatching Dragon Ball Z Kai. That's currently what I've been kind of ploughing into this weekend. Well, not just this weekend, but I started watching it like last week, and I'm still doing it. I've just finished the first two seasons. I'm now on the Android Saga. Just started that. Yeah, I mean, Disney Plus. Disney Plus have just recently put up, even though I own them physically, I own Dragon Ball Z Kai, I own a number of the films, as well as GT and Super. I own all of that physical. But it is always important to support physical. Physical is not dead, people. Physical is still very much alive. Yeah, I don't support complete 100% digital. It is there. I do utilize streaming and stuff, which everybody does. It's definitely a tool. It's a tool to be used. It's just convenience. If it's something I don't actually have physical, or if it's an original series that isn't on DVD at the moment, then that is what I utilize streaming for. But when it comes to everything else, video games, I always buy, even though video games arguably are no longer really a game on a disc, it's just an activation code, but I still like to physically buy the game, physical, and I actually have it. I know everything's changing and everything, but yeah, you need to support physical. I always do. But yeah, so I'm just currently rewatching. Even though I've watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, I watched it when it first started, when it first aired on Sky. I believe it was. I don't know if it was Cartoon Network or if it was Nickelodeon that got the rights to Kai here in the UK when they were airing it. I really prefer Dragon Ball Z Kai over the original Dragon Ball Z series, like the original that started back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when Dragon Ball Z first aired, when it first came to America and Europe and everything, and it started like taking over. I remember watching it back in the day. Dragon Ball Z, the original Dragon Ball Z anime, is iconic. It is fantastic. However, it is a bit too long because of the fillers. There's way too much filler in it. There's a lot of like little mini arcs in between the main arcs, and it kind of distracts you and takes you out of the story a little bit. And there's a lot of plot holes as well with the original script when they originally translated the Japanese show to English. When they did the translation, there was a lot of mistakes and a lot of it didn't really work 100%. But when they when they announced they were doing like a rebridged version of Dragon Ball Z, and it was going to be called Dragon Ball Z Kai, a lot of the Dragon Ball fans hated it back when it first started out. A lot of them hated it, but now everybody loves it. It's kind of ironic, really, isn't it? When something new comes around, people hate it, but now they flipping love it. Personally, Dragon Ball Z Kai for me is the best story adaptation of the main Z storyline, of the main arcs. It gets rid of all the filler, gets rid of everything that was unnecessary, that was not canon, and was, because a lot of the extra stuff wasn't. They were like OVA arcs. They were like they weren't actually canon originally. They have sort of been brought into canon now with their Super. They've kind of brought certain characters back that were kind of taken out of the Dragon Ball Z Kai series. Because they were originally, it was original. It wasn't canon. And also a lot of the original films for Dragon Ball franchise, like the original films, a lot of them are extra content, still original storylines. But they have like brought Broly back, which means the Broly films, the original Broly films, and the new one is technically now part of canon, even though they've sort of like slightly reimagined Broly in the new continuity with the Super storyline. It's a little bit confusing, really. But no, I really love Dragon Ball. I've always been a big fan of it. And it's been great kind of rewatching some of the iconic moments, watching the Saiyan saga, now finished the Frieza saga, and now starting my favourite saga, which is the Android saga. The Android saga is technically split into like 3 parts, from beginning to end, because you've got the androids, you've got basically future Trunks coming into it, who's the son of Bulma and Vegeta. So you got him making an appearance, and then you've got the Android saga, which is kind of the arc for Android 17, 18, and the big guy as well. And then you've got Cell, the Cell saga, which is part of the Android saga continuity, because he needs to. The whole objective of the objectives of Cell was to he had a database of all the known Z fighters on Earth. He had a profile on all of them, so he knew how to counteract their moves and all that kind of thing. Goku, Piccolo, and everyone else. And his main primary objective is to absorb 17 and 18 to become his perfect form. So you've got that, and then you've got the Cell games, which is at the latter end of the Cell saga. So it's technically, originally it was like split into three parts. It was probably, I think Cell Saga's the longest. I think it is. I think the Cell Saga in completion, because you've got the Android saga, then it moves into the Cell saga, where Cell comes into it, and then you have the Cell games at the latter end of it, which concludes it. And then when you have that iconic moment with Teen Gohan, where Gohan turns Super Saiyan for the first time. No, Super Saiyan 2. He goes Super Saiyan 2 and defeats Cell, because Cell doesn't have. Well, basically, I think Cell only has up to Super Saiyan 1 in his database. When Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2, it basically, he has absolutely no idea what the hell, how to counteract Gohan, hence why he wins. But yeah, so I've just been really enjoying catching up and watching that again, because it has been a long time since I've watched the Dragon Ball Z storyline, because I kind of moved on and watched the newer stuff. I've watched all of Super. I would say Super for me, for Dragon Ball, is pretty weak in comparison. I do like it. I did. I like the films. These Dragon Ball Super films, like Battle of Gods, is good. Resurrection F, which is Resurrection of Frieza, where they brought Frieza back. Um, and then the Broly film. All of them are the films for Super are fantastic. But then the actual series, it has some good moments, but as a whole, it isn't the best. The best part of Super for me is right at the end when Goku fights Jiren, a character called Jiren, who's this incredibly powerful. There's like a tournament at the end of Super, and basically all the loads of fighters from different parallel universes have to participate, and whoever loses, their whole universe is eradicated from history. So basically, they all have to fight to save their world and their universe. And that's basically what's at stake in that. And it's a really good arc, actually. The tournament arc in Super at the very end is really good. And then obviously the fight with Jiren is incredible. But yeah, it's good. I am looking forward to it because it is meant to be coming back. I don't know if we're going to get it. I don't know if it's going to be called Super or if it's going to be called something else. But I do know the Dragon Ball Super manga in Japan has concluded. They have officially wrapped up the manga for Super. And apparently we are supposed to be getting some sort of anime, another adaptation based on the manga. I assume it is going to be based on Super, so it's going to continue with the other arcs, the latter arcs. So they're going to adapt the latter arcs of the Super manga, I believe. So I'm hoping we're going to get the full continuity of the Super storyline. And obviously, the last thing we had was Daima. I haven't watched all of Daima yet, Dragon Ball Daima. The only reason why I haven't watched it is because, for some reason in the UK, Daima is on Netflix. Dragon Ball Daima, it is on Netflix, but Daima's on Dragon Ball Daima. It's on Netflix, but it's subbed. It's Japanese audio and English subtitle. I don't have a problem with that per se. I can watch anime both dubbed and subbed. I don't have a problem. However, I've never been. I know this sounds very controversial thing to say, and I'm probably going to get a lot of dislike and a lot of hate for in the comments of this. And if I do, I'm just going to laugh at everybody because it's ridiculously funny. If I do, if this happens, but I have never really been overly. I've never been a big fan of the Japanese cast. I'm not saying as a whole. I think the Japanese voice actor for Vegeta and a couple of other characters is really, really good in Japanese. I have watched it. I have watched a couple things in Japanese audio for Dragon Ball, and some of the Japanese voice actors for the characters work incredibly well. They sound really good. However, I've never been a big fan of the voice for Goku. I know that sounds a very controversial thing to say. Don't get me wrong, she's a legend in Japan. She's an absolute legend. And the fact that she's still playing this character and she's really getting on in years now. She's played Goku since the start, and she's played Goku throughout the years, right from when the original Dragon Ball through Z. She came back for Dragon Ball Z Kai. She come back for Super storyline, and also I don't know about Daima, but she's basically voiced Goku throughout of all of it. But the same voice actress also voices Gohan as well, so she voices Goku and Gohan. Or I don't know if she still does, but she used to voice both father and son in Dragon Ball throughout the continuity. Now, I don't have a problem with a woman. Obviously, in the English dub, there was a voice actress that would play young Goku, which is absolutely perfectly fine, um, because obviously he's a child. It makes perfect sense for Goku to be played by a female actress when he's a child. But when he's a fully grown adult, it makes sense to be more natural that his voice changes, his voice breaks, because male voices break as they get older. And it makes sense a male actor to take over the role, which in English they do just that. But in Japan, it's the same actress from child to adult. And it's so distracting for me to get over a woman playing a fully grown man. It just doesn't work. And that's why I've never been a fan of the Dragon Ball original Japanese cast as a whole. Mainly for the voice performance for Goku, because I found Goku in Japanese really annoying. I love Goku. I absolutely love him in the English dub portrayal, mainly Funimation and the Ocean dub, which is the North American dub, which is the Funimation is America, and then obviously you got Ocean, which was the Canadian dub. They worked parallel back in the day. Ocean was the first English country to provide an English adaptation to Dragon Ball Z. So the Ocean dub in Canada so you had the Ocean dub. There was actually 3 official dubs for Dragon Ball, which was a bit weird. But you had the Ocean dub, which I believe is the original, and then you had another dub as well, which was a Canadian dub, but it was absolutely flipping terrible. I don't know if it was called Dark Water, or I can't remember the name of the company, but it was absolutely abysmal performances. Some great voice actors, but it was just really badly adapted from Japanese to English. And then Funimation, they came in and took over from Ocean. But when they televised Dragon Ball, here's the interesting thing. When they televised it here in the UK, and I believe in the US as well, it was actually, when it was on Toonami, when they aired Dragon Ball Z, it was actually a mixture of both the Funimation dub and Ocean. And I never knew this growing up. To me, when I was a kid, it sounded like it was the same cast all the way through. But I found out later that basically Funimation were basically playing catch up. They started dubbing it later than Canada. And basically what happened is that they kind of used, like when they were televising it, because they had their schedule was a bit mental for releasing. They didn't have much time to release new blocks of episodes and because obviously they was working through the sagas and the arcs, and they basically had to use the Canadian dub, the Ocean dub, as well as the Funimation dub. So you had 2 dubs airing simultaneous throughout the entire run for Dragon Ball Z when it was airing here in the UK. And that's how they did Z when it was televised. But then, obviously, since Dragon Ball Z's been released on physical media, and it goes up on streaming, it's always Funimation. Funimation took over completely going forward. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, really, and it's also very confusing, but it is good, interesting tidbit, really, if you was interested, that is. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm just, like I said, looking forward to England. Come on, England, as we play Panama this evening in the World Cup. We played terrible against Ghana, I have to say. How the hell we couldn't win Ghana is absolutely still baffles me. I will be honest with England. I have not been massively overly convinced about the squad for the England squad for 2026. I have been really enjoying this World Cup. This is the most football I've watched in quite a few years. I used to watch a lot of football when I was younger, but in recent years I've just not had the time to really sit down and follow stuff very well. But because the World Cup is televised on national TV, normal TV, I'm able to watch it. I'm able to watch as many matches and get caught up, and you know. So I've been watching a lot. I've watched a couple games for South Korea. I've watched all of Japan's matches. Japan have been absolutely incredible. Um, the national team for Japan in the World Cup, absolutely astounded by how well they've played. Canada's been playing well. America's been playing okay, which surprised me. I know that sounds very bad to say, but a lot of people don't really rate American football or MLS or soccer, as they call it in America. A lot of people don't rate them compared to, say, the Premier League or other countries. But I've been really surprised that a lot of the lower national teams, or the ones that I would say the underdog national teams, have actually been outperforming the top dog national teams in the World Cup this time around, and it's been really interesting to watch. It's still a very no. I have no idea who could potentially go right through to the final or the final. I have no idea who that could be, or those two teams going straight to the final. That is still very much up in the air. But I am very intrigued. France look really good. Germany look good. Brazil look pretty good as well, which I'm not surprised at being top teams. England have potential. We do have potential to go as far as possible, but I think I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. We should potentially win tonight. We should potentially, but again, we don't know until kickoff starts. But I am very optimistic. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna support whatever happens. Happens. Apparently, we are already through to the last 32 in the World Cup. We are still. We need to win tonight to actually win our group, because at the moment the matches we're playing are group stage matches. If for those that don't follow football, they won't have an idea. But basically, the World Cup is split into parts. The first three matches of the World Cup is what is known as group matches or group stages. So basically, you play whatever group you're in, you play the teams in your group. Whoever is in the top two. So whoever wins the group automatically goes through to the to the knockout stages, which is stage 2. So whoever's number 1, they go through straight away. Whoever's number 2, so basically first and second they go through. But then if you're third or fourth, if you're fourth, you're gone. You're knocked out the competition. If you're third, you have to kind of wait for results. It all works on goal difference and things like that as well. So so basically all determines how well you've played. But there is potential for a couple of third place teams to go through as well. That is including Scotland, because unfortunately Scotland were third in their group. And they're still sort of waiting for confirmation if they've done enough for them to go through. I think they've got to play another game. I don't know if they've got to play some more games in order to kind of see if they can actually go through. I don't know. But Scotland are not in a good position at the moment. But yeah, we'll see. I'm optimistic. Come on, England. Let's do it. Let's see how far we can go. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm gonna enjoy watching the football this evening. Supporting England, of course, as you can see. I'm very happy to get this. I've been after getting an England shirt for a while. Um, I've got a couple of Hull City shirts. I did have a Manchester United shirt because I do support Man United as well. But I got rid of it because it didn't fit me very well. It was a bit too big. I think I've got. Basically, when it comes to football shirts, they are designed. Some of them go in. They're kind of cut in to the side. So basically, I usually wear 2XL shirts. In normal, everyday casual shirts, it's usually 2XL that I wear. That is the go-to size I always go for is 2XL for just casual t-shirts and what have you. But when it comes to football shirts, I sometimes have to go a shirt above, like a 3XL, because of how they're done. Some of them really are quite tight than normal shirts because they're like a training top. So they're different. But not every football shirt is the same because it all determines on the fitting. It determines on the fitting, determines on the material used as well. So it all that goes into play. The Hull City shirts, they are quite tight, so I usually have to get a 3XL on the Hull City shirts to have more of a comfortable fit because they're quite a tight fit. But this England shirt, like I say, this is an official shirt, by the way, because obviously I started the vlog off saying it's a lot cheaper than the 2026 one. Now, basically, the reason why I got this shirt is because the 2026 World Cup shirt, which I was considering on getting because I do like the World Cup shirt for this year's the 2026 World Cup, but it's 89 quid. It's almost £90. For me, 90 quid just for one top is a bit much. I'm sorry. I know some people will be like, oh, what a boomer. Oh my God. 90 quid's nothing. Yeah, but I've never been one for, I begrudge buying clothes that are a bit expensive. I've never been a big fan of parting with money and buying a single top, just a single t-shirt, and it costs 100 or so quid. No, thank you. I'd rather go and get a t-shirt from there that is like 30 quid. That's actually a bit more reasonable, or a bit cheaper than that. But 90 quid for a football shirt is a bit much. Yeah, it's a bit much. But this one was priced down. It was 30% off in Sports Direct, I believe I got it from. And Sports Direct, I believe it was I got it from. And this one was 35 quid. It was reduced, I think it was about 50 quid or something like that, roughly about 50 quid, something like that. 50 something quid when it first came out. And they had it on 30% reduction. So I got it for 35. So I'm happy to pay 35 quid for an official football shirt. And it's a retro one as well, which is cool. But anyway, so the football's coming on now. The whole run-up to. But let's go. I'm going to go and enjoy the football now. Thank you so much for watching this vlog, because I haven't done a vlog for a while. Just wanted to let people know I am well, I am safe, I'm good in myself and everything else. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. And bye-bye for now.